everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Bros Who Knows, your source for edutainment. I'm here with, once again, the Dark Knight, the Will Smith, the Captain Crunch of all podcasts, Richard Yancey. I'm Dr. Jeff LaCure. Today we're going to talk to you about a it's big, it's interesting, and maybe concerning topic. Artificial intelligence. We're going to show you a wonderful clip, a recent clip actually from Elon Musk, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Here it goes.
Even if you say that AI doesn't have agency, well, it's very likely that people will use the AI as a tool in elections. And then, if the AI is smart enough, are they using the tool or is the tool using them? So I think things are getting weird, and they're getting weird fast.
Richie, what'd you think, man, about Elon? Seems to be on to something.
Well, I don't think he's on to something. It's been happening for a while. But what he said that was interesting was that we, as humans, we were the smartest species on the planet. Okay, and he said now we developed AI, which is going to be the smartest artificial intelligence on the planet. And I don't think people really understand what that means. I'm telling you, at this point, think about that. I'm telling you, we are the smartest species on that planet. So the people who made Ferrari, right? Artists, singers, okay? These people are intelligent in their own right? But what he's saying is, I'm telling you, this artificial intelligence, they can write poetry, they could probably end up making songs. So what does that mean? That means that we're in trouble.
Yeah.
So if you don't need people, what does that mean?
It scares me, Rich, and I see, much like cell phones and the internet, a purpose, right? There could be a purpose for it, but I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it on a variety of levels. I'm worried about it from a replacing workers level, which it's already doing. I'm really worried about it being another source of disconnecting from human beings and the human connection. And let me share this with you, speaking of the AI that I'm sure you're familiar with, and I imagine a lot of our viewers are, but this is where I get my biggest concern, is in Japan, their biggest selling kind of and biggest investments in robotics and so on are robotic women to be made to be sexual toys for guys. And I guess, you can see some of them. We may even insert in an example here. A lot of guys are saying, you know what? I get all the benefits, whatever the hell that means, and I don't have to have the commitments. That's scary to me. As a matter of fact, that is profoundly scary to me, that someone would rather have sex with some sort of robot than with an actual human being where there's a true emotional connection. What's your thoughts on that, Rich?
Wow, I did hear about that. My thoughts on it's kind of funny. Well, the problem with AI is that it's artificial intelligence without emotions, right?
Yeah.
So right there, it's already superior than human beings because we have emotions, right? But I can understand where it's going with the robots, the women robots, right? They don't have any emotions. You're gonna tell it what to do, it's gonna do it. And you go to work, you come home, and you program it to do whatever you want it to do, including having sex, right? Yeah, she never says no.
She's never tired.
And then I guess they're gonna have their human connection with women, but not on a sexual level. They're gonna have a human connection with men, not on a sexual level. But anyway, this is the direction that we're going anyway. So what's scary is this: we have 7 billion people on the planet, right? And then you have people that we have. You go to elementary school, you go to junior high school, you go to high school, college, whatever, right? That's going to be obsolete.
Yeah.
Right? I'm talking about, the knowledge that the artificial intelligence has, it's learning every single day. For human beings to even compete with that on a job level, give an example, right? You want a financial planner, right? And Joe is a financial planner. You're going to go to artificial intelligence because they're going to go and they're going to understand the layout from 20 years ago to predicting what's going to happen 20 years from now. And they're going to be better at it than that. You go to, anywhere you go to a bank, you want to talk to someone, about mortgages. You're going to want to deal with someone, artificial intelligence, because they're going to give you the exact, your exact answer, absolute answer at that time. Okay, so we'll say if it's 5 o'clock, they're going to have the exact answer at 5 o'clock. That's absolute. That's going to be, it's going to be correct. Then if you go to a human being who's going to have to, I'll be back to you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
You're going to have cars with navigation, right? Who's going to drive the Ubers? Uber's going to have his own
It's
car
coming.
with artificial intelligence in it that's going to go because that's why they're doing this electrical based cars now, right? You're going to get into an Uber with no driver. It's going to take you where it's going to go, and it's going to bring you back, and then it's going to charge its own self, and it's you don't have to pay for human error or anything like that.
Yeah.
So this is the direction we're going to go. The question is, what are we going to do with all the humans? That's one question. The second question is this. Which is up to actually it's not, it's a statement. The good thing about it is this: women don't have to worry about getting into an Uber as a guy's going to molest them or not, right? Because now they get into the car, and you have to worry about that. The bad thing is this: once you give someone else, or even if it's an entity, that much power, there's going to be a lot of good, but where there's good, there is bad. So we don't know where the bad's going to be. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, Rich. It's not if there's going to be bad, right? It's when there's bad.
Right.
And that's what worries me about it. I think, AI has been around for a long time. Anytime we personally Google something, not a sponsor, they have analytics that track, right? They understand these power sources as far as AI, and I don't like it. I don't like, if this was my cell phone, that a cell phone can listen, that a cell phone can record, that a cell phone can actually, take parts of our conversation, and then when we do searches, it already goes into that particular
That's
thing.
crazy. That's a crazy phenomenon that, I talked to someone about, I think it was a Aston Martin. We were talking about Aston Martins. And I look up my YouTube, Aston Martin starts popping up on the YouTube or
That's right.
on the Google search. It's crazy.
That's right. Yeah, it's, you and I, when we were planning for this episode, we both said, hopefully this doesn't overwhelm us in our generation, but it's going to be our children's generation for sure. I'm not a fan, right? I mean, again, can there be some good applications to it and some things that it might actually help? Yes. But like with so much stuff, it seems like we figure out as the human species a way to take it to the extreme. And I do go back to that movie, and I think the movie was in the 80s, but how sort of predictive was it, the movie The Terminator?
Right.
Where AI basically got so good
Right.
that they
Well, that's
recognized that we're the ones in power.
Right.
And I know that's somewhat dramatic and extreme,
Right.
but
Well, just, okay.
I don't like it.
Right. So
I don't like it at
let's
all.
go to the basics. You know how we like to go to the basics.
Absolutely.
Why? Okay, look, I love life, right? You love life. Right?
Yeah.
Why would a human being create something better than us?
Right.
It doesn't even make sense,
Correct.
right? I'm telling you, we're in competition with ourselves now.
Yeah.
What is it going to, I don't understand where that road's going to go. Eventually, I'm telling you, if it's going in this direction, it has a huge momentum going in this direction, right? You can't even fathom where it's going to end.
I know. I'm worried where it's going to end.
Because if AI, because look, if it's artificial intelligence and it has the correct answer, then I'm gonna tell you what the correct answer is. Human beings are the worst thing that ever happened to this planet.
Yeah. We're gonna
So if
be
it figures
obsolete.
that out, what's it gonna do to us?
That's right. Obsolete. We
Right.
become obsolete. Again, look at the robots being created in Japan and other countries, probably for that matter,
Right.
where, women, by some degree, become kind of obsolete. 'cause
But they don't
never-
look like women now, though. I see the picture. They look weird, right?
Yeah, but it's coming. And
Where they making them out of? Like it has to be like.
Yeah, they
can't-
get this weird kind of like fake skid.
I would be scared that it would, if if I did have one, right,
Yeah.
and if I performed any kind of sexual things with the thing, I'd be scared that it'll choke the hell out of me or pick me up and body slam me, right?
How do you explain that to the doctor? Yeah, what treatment are you here for today? Well, I was messing with my robot.
Right.
I programmed my robot to never say no, and she said no. She said no in a very unique and special way.
So what are you gonna do? So in your profession, right? What are you gonna do when you have all these AI? Can the AI replicate your job?
No, not yet. And you know what's interesting, Richard? I'm glad you bring it up. You know, in the world of shrinkdom, you know, the personal connection's so key. What people tried to do, insurance companies and so on. Let me mention one. Blue Cross, not a sponsor. During the pandemic, was all this telehealth bullshit, right? And it's like, oh, you know, we can do couples counseling versus Skype, not a sponsor, Zoom, not a sponsor, all that stuff. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Right.
The realness that takes place in the office has to take place in the office, and we're cheating them. So, but there's no question that even the medical profession, right, is trying to dehumanize, depersonalize the whole treatment experience. I have colleagues in my field, Rich, who they don't even go to the office anymore, not because they're afraid of safety, because it's easy to literally get on their laptop or their desktop and do sessions virtual with people. And what I've noticed lately is I have people calling me, and the very first thing they ask me, what they used to ask was, do you take so-and-so insurance? What they ask now is, do you do office appointments? I only want office appointments. And so AI is going to try to intervene. The people who produce it, because remember, it's always about money. If AI didn't involve making big bucks, it'd be dead. It'd be a dead technology. No one would use it. We'd have nothing to worry about. But in my field, I think the insurance companies tried to circumvent right? Imagine you and I doing a podcast, and I guess people do it, where you're in Milford, I'm in Medway, and we're in two separate studios. It would lose something, right? It would lose the kind of the coolness that we have of both of us in the same room.
You would think so.
Mm-hmm.
But as evolution goes on, people get used to it.
Well, that's the scary thing
You
too,
know, people
right?
get used to it. Look, I used to play outside, play touch football outside.
Yeah.
I used to play, tag outside,
Mm-hmm.
hide and seek.
Yeah.
Those things are gone.
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore. So, I honestly don't know.
I
how it's
tried
gonna
hide
play.
and seek with one of those female robots. Let me tell you, boy, did she hide well. I'm still seeking. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You know you're not an attractive man, Rich, when a robot turns you down.
oh, listen,
You know when the robot is like, no, you could put that away, cowboy. That ain't happening tonight. And I'm like, really? Even with robots, I'm being turned down? You know you're not an attractive man when that goes down.
well, pretty soon you have robots that can have babies. What do you think about that?
That's when I just find the most remote part of the world, and I build a 10 by 10 cabin, and I just shut the door. But you know what I'd still do?
What's that?
I'd still do a podcast with you, Richie, remotely.
Remotely, huh?
Remotely. You'd be wherever you are, and I'm in my 10 by 10 cabin. You go, Jeff, where are you? And I go, I'm not telling anyone. It's frightening, Rich. It's frightening.
It's crazy. But did you listen to Elon Musk?
Yeah, you know what? He brings up some really, I think, smart and important points that it's kind of mirroring a lot of what you and I are talking about, which is on one hand, he acknowledges it can be a very important technology, yet he is very, very worried about where this technology is headed.
Right, and I think that it's only common sense, right? I'm telling you, you can't have one without the other. You can't have good without evil, right? You can't have black without white. You can't, it's just one of those things. So for you to think that it's only going to be for good, look at the internet. The internet was amazing when it started,
It sure
right?
was. Oh my
now you
God.
have all these pedophiles on the internet.
That's
you got all
right.
these.
That's right.
We as humans, we always find a way
To muck it
to
up.
mess it up, right?
Yeah.
We just can't help it.
Yeah.
So this AI, I'm telling you, think about it. We single-handedly created something that's smarter than us. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
What a great way
That's
to
so
describe
dumb.
it, right? It really is.
That's just plain out dumb. And it's I just like I said, it's going to change the way we educate
That's right.
humans. Us, right?
That's right.
I have to say humans now. 'Cause I probably get yelled at for that. But it's gonna change the scope of everything.
That's right. You know what? It's a great example when you say it's like one of the dumbest things we ever did. It's like saying to your girlfriend, who you love, I'm setting you up for a dinner with Tom Brady for 6 hours. And then hoping nothing happens. Right? That's just stupid.
It's dumb.
Right?
I'm
going to set you up with this beautiful man to go out to dinner. I'll pay for dinner.
But
yeah, that's just silly.
I think a lot of people are in denial. I don't think they really
Absolutely.
understand
Absolutely.
what this means. I don't think they understand the momentum that the whole world is, the direction that we're going.
And it's fast.
It's going real
This is
fast.
fast.
I don't think they realize that humans like we're becoming obsolete. We're becoming obsolete.
We are.
We don't. They don't need us.
Right.
The biggest key is this. This is what's so crazy, right? When has it ever, right, in history, that the government just giving out money?
Yeah.
Right. That's the biggest clue right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that,
Mm-hmm.
and think about how many they're giving out money, but there's so many homeless people out there now.
Yeah.
Homelessness is like it's outrageous.
It's
Big companies like Walmart is closing down all over the place.
excuse me.
A lot of I'm telling pretty soon, like the checkout at Target, they were telling me that pretty soon you're gonna be able to put all your stuff in the carriage
Mm-hmm.
and just walk right out the door.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you don't even have to. You know what I mean? So where's the cash? All the cashiers and
Oh, gone.
right. So I think and this is going so fast that I think within years, right,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna see a whole different way of life.
Mm-hmm. I'm not looking forward to it, Rich. Zero looking forward to
Right.
it.
So what's your end on this one?
Well, I'll tell you, now that you got me depressed. I come into the studio, I'm in a good mood, Rich. You know what? I'm glad you and I are doing this topic because, isn't it an exciting topic? I don't know if it's exciting. Is it controversial, I guess, in a way? Because you and I, we go on the edge of controversy sometimes. But I think for our viewers, what you're bringing up today is people, you got to open your eyes. You better open your eyes because, the low skill, the low income, low wages kinds of jobs are going to be eaten up. Again, you're going to go through a McDonald's or Burger King, not a sponsor, and it's going to be
Automated.
Right, it's going to be a robot. It's going to be
Fully
automated.
automated. Yeah.
Right. The reality is there's a push to get rid of paper and coin money. So
Right.
in some ways you'll never even see it. There's a lot of things that this technology makes me nervous and not excited. Not excited
Well,
at all.
just to interject one
Yeah.
last time, because I don't think people around us are really understand what's going on. Yes, we just talked about McDonald's and Burger King, but lawyers out, judges out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Imagine a robot
oh
sitting
yeah,
over here for
that's
trial.
what's because see the thing is, okay, on paper it sounds perfect, right? Because it's non-bias, right? And it's straight to the point, and it's it makes a decision based on data, right? Based on the truth, right? So you're not going to get a moody judge, or you're not. You know what I mean? The lawyer is going to know. I mean, the AI lawyer is going to know everything, right? In a blink of an eye, right? So, in theory, it's amazing. But if some humans, when they get when they get their hands on it and they can push it in a certain direction, that's where it gets scary.
That's right. And I like how you mentioned like judges, for example, and then basing a decision AI just on the data. And what I hope all judges bring is, again, they have to be impartial, but a little of the humanness
Right,
too,
right.
where you
You
go,
need that. You need
hey,
that.
wait a minute, this is a dude or a dudette who, poor decision, whatever, but whatever. There's something, there's a human connection, and
Right.
you go, okay, maybe, versus, well, based on the data, that's 10 years in prison.
Right.
Instead of going, you know what, maybe it's 7 years in prison, maybe it's 5 years in prison, maybe it's probation, whatever it might be. And what AI says to me, Rich, and you and I have done a lot on our podcast about it, is we're losing the human connection. Remember a few months ago, we did that wonderful one on the death of masculinity. To me, this feels like the death of humanness.
Right.
Right? In
Well, they're
some
both
ways.
connected, right?
They sure are.
Well, because we don't. That's what I'm saying. We don't need men,
Yeah.
right? So of course you're gonna have the death of masculinity. You don't need humans. So have you noticed that the customer service sucks?
Brutal.
Is that just me? It just seemed like
Brutal.
you can almost feel what the future's going to be like, right? Because it seemed like no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I went to Target, right, and I wanted to go get the door cam, or what I think it's called, doorbell.
Yeah. Oh, the
Right.
ring?
Ring, right?
Yeah.
Called Ring. And,
Not a sponsor, by the way.
right, and
I had to throw that out.
I
there.
asked 3 people, like, what just tell me the difference between that and it was another brand, Arlo or Airlo, whatever they're called. They couldn't even tell me.
No.
You know what I mean? So, if I talk to an AI guy, AI will tell me everything about it. So, it has its pros and cons. But my point is that we're losing the war here.
Losing it big time. We're
So,
losing it big time. And it's intentional. That's what's weird about it.
It is intentional.
There's an intentionality to a lot of what's going on with sort of these global changes, and even in our own country, there's an intentionality that creates a lot of discomfort in me. I mentioned in an earlier podcast about trying to enjoy and embrace the grace and beauty of every day, and I try to. And notice I didn't say but. And I realize there's some sneaky shit going on.
Oh,
there's
definitely.
some very manipulative kind of sneaky shit going on.
And the thing is, we're accepting it, but that's the truth. Like we're seeing the truth, whether you're in denial or not. We're actually seeing. I'm telling you, cops can't be cops.
Right.
You can't. I'm telling you, listen, whether you like cops or not, right? They have a purpose, correct?
They sure do.
And they can't be cops. I can't say whatever I want to say. It's like I said, we talked about this before, right? If you see, like, even if a young lady, see her at the cafe, you can't just say hi to her nowadays.
Yeah, you
can't
got to
do
worry
anything.
about
You see
catching
someone
a
pulled over.
charge.
Yeah, you see someone pulled over and they're like stuck in their car. You got to keep driving,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You can't do anything anymore.
That's
so,
right. That's right.
This is where things are going, Jeff, and thank God. I think we're past the hump, right?
Yeah.
I don't think all this stuff is going to happen in our lifetimes, but it's heading that direction.
Yeah, it is. And again, I know I'm belaboring the point, Rich. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm going to go on record. I'm not buying an electric car. I'm not having a robot in my house. I'm not doing that kind of crap.
Jeff, you're buying an electric car, Jeff. I love you to death, bro, but you're not going to be sitting at home because pretty soon all the cars are going to be electric.
That's why I'm going to hold on to my combustible ones. Absolutely.
The gas is going to be like $50 a gallon.
That's what that's the goal, right?
You know that's going to happen.
You know that's the goal.
Because listen, they say that we have freedom, but our freedom is not really freedom.
It's limited now.
They're going to say, listen, you have freedom to buy whatever you want, but look, your gas is going to
Yeah,
be
you
$50
have the
a gallon.
freedom. Yeah, $50 a gallon.
50 bucks
It'd
a
be
gallon.
nice when I say to my grandkids on Christmas, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't buy you a toy this year because it cost me $600 just to commute from my house to your house, and you're in the
Right.
same town.
That's
right?
true.
Because
Right,
$50 a gallon, it's crazy.
And I'll say this one last thing
Yeah.
before I throw it to you.
Yeah.
When I was younger, right, there was always one thing that was very special. Like I had a those I think they were called Hot Wheels.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I had one that was very special to me and dear to me, because someone gave it to me or whatever. But they were limited in items.
Mhm.
Kids don't have that these days because there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
They get so much stuff. There's nothing special anymore. Yeah, I mean, even the car, someone used to buy, when they bought a Ferrari, it was special, right? It was handmade, and the guy, everything's the same. All
Yeah.
the cars drive the same, pretty much. Everything's the same. There's no special feeling about anything anymore.
That's right. Rich, I think you're on to a future podcast, quite frankly. It's something that I see with this generation of children. They are given so much false praise. I call it bullshit praise. They get a 2 out of 10 on a test score, and they're told they're the best, brightest kid ever. I don't want them to be, told, hey, you're dumb as a brick.
Right.
Even though inside I'm going, oh shit, there's something up with that kid. Right. Sorry I said that on camera. I just speak the truth. But, and I watch kids get the gifts on birthdays and Christmas. Notice I didn't say holidays. And they get so much that they don't appreciate that Hot Wheels toy,
Right,
or that special thing. And not to belabor the point, but I remember growing up, and everybody's got the I remember growing up story, right? And I came from modest means, right? My dad was a military dude, man. He was fighting and dying for this country. And we always had plenty under the tree, but there was like that one kind of special gift.
Right.
There wasn't a ton of gifts, right? We didn't get like 8 bikes, and this was well before video games and stuff. You got that one gift that you were like, thank you so very much. You didn't even expect it.
Right.
But when you got it, you appreciated it. And I've watched children today, and I won't name kids, I watch them cry as they open the gifts because it's not what they wanted.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Instead of being like, thank you so very much,
That's crazy.
right? And I hear some kids, and we did it, Rich, as kids. We'd see a commercial or something in a magazine, Sears catalog. It was, hey, can you guys get us this? Can you get us this? And maybe sometimes they did. But this list that kids have, this expectations, I think it'd be an interesting podcast because you know what it comes back to? We got parents who feel so guilty now in how they're raising their children, or maybe how they're not, that they try to fill the void with things instead of filling the void with time. Matter of fact, if I could spotlight your fathering, and I thought this was beautiful, is you had put on your Facebook page, you were celebrating your daughter's birthday. And I don't remember your exact words, Rich, but I was like, this is a guy who's got a clue. You weren't celebrating all the things you were getting her for her birthday. You were celebrating the fact that you and your daughter were together and how much you enjoyed it, right? And then it linked over to her page, and she was highlighting how much she enjoyed spending time with her dad, right? And that's what it's about. It's about the gift of time, not about the gift of certain things, because that just fades away.
Right.
And so maybe someday we'll do actually, it'll be an interesting podcast. And if any viewers have any feelings on this, let us know, right? Like us, subscribe, give us some feedback. It'd be interesting to do a very specific podcast on fathering, right? Because that's something you and I take very seriously.
Yeah, but you talked about time, Jeff. A lot of people don't have time. Especially right now, people are working and they're so consumed with their problems that they don't. And that's what we talked about earlier too.
Yeah.
When you're consumed and overwhelmed with problems that you have,
Yeah.
it's hard to give anyone else anything else, right?
Right.
But not to we're going to stay on track here. But the point is that everything's moving away from us. This AI is not helping, and we're losing control. Even as humans, we're losing control, and we're deliberately giving control
Away.
Yeah, to an entity that doesn't have emotions.
That's right.
That's the dumbest thing, and that's the dumbest thing in the world.
Well, as we wrap today, Rich, I think this was a good introduction for people to really be mindful about how do they want to allow, if they can, AI into their life. And so I will say this on behalf of Rich and I, we love bringing you this content weekly. I hope none of you think I'm a hypocrite, but as soon as Rich and I get done filming this, I'm going to the local robot store, and I'm going to go find me a robotic woman, and I'm going to go find out what I'm missing, because apparently it's pretty legit. And what I found out about robotic women, they never wear hoodies to bed, they never wear sweats to bed, they never wear Uggs to bed. They're always warm, and most importantly, they never say no. On behalf of that bad joke, on behalf of Rich, I'm Dr. Jeff LaCure. This has been Bros Who Know. We'll see you next week.